Okay, hello. We're just gonna do a commentary over this 22 Galakronds fall I did. This was last week, I believe. So, tranquil, storming, raging. It's also only a 22. I haven't really been doing high keys this season. I got pretty burnt out just grinding for all my gear week one, but and this one does have an AUG and a priest, and I think I end up getting PI'd more often than not. But it still ends up being a pretty good key. So yeah, I really like this common strategy where you just pull these mobs and you lust. It's really fun as arcane for frost. I've actually been having this issue where I'm like lagging a little bit on larger pulls, so that's why some of my add-ons you'll see are disabled this time. So like I have no plater and I've got no unit frames turned on, but you can see my um, frames are just perfectly stable. So obviously it worked. Still working on identifying that though. Would have been good for me on the prior Glacial Spike to have shattered it with an actual thing. I don't think I did a freeze, or maybe I did, but you'd see on the second one I did do an Ice Nova, and here I'm at Blinken to use Frost Nova, though the mobs are raging, so not very useful. I have been preaching this kind of every time I made a Frost video this patch, but if you don't know, I highly suggest Ray of Frost, and I think you should play Ray of Frost. Just it's more overall than any of the other single points you can take, and it's insane single target damage. So, yep. Maybe if they buff Ice Lance by 40% or something, you won't take Ray Frost, but I doubt it. Chain reaction just falls off far too much for it to be worth it. Here I'm waiting to shifting power till I use an orb so I don't overcap my CDR, and here I'm waiting to shifting power till I am not going to overcap Fear's Frost as well. So works out nicely that way. Here I decided to just hold my Ray Balefire for this since my Icy Veins was about to be up, so strong combo right there. Normally I wouldn't do that, but it was like 4 seconds away, so might as well. It would have been good instead of frost pulling there if I'd used a flurry since my water jet was about to proc. You can leave your water jet on autocast, but sometimes it's nice to track it. Though I wouldn't really change your decision making around it too often. So that's just one of the situations where I definitely should have, since it was well within my power to do so. You'll see like the canceled cast I had earlier actually kind of prevented that Glacial Spike from hitting during Icy Veins, so I missed a water jet cast, but should have been quite a few canceled casts here. Should have been unfortunate. Skill issue, people might say. Here I'm gonna use my ear doll when I'm in a GCD, the Isolance GCD to be specific. That doesn't matter which one it is, as long as it's an actual GCD, right? So you can do after Flurry, after Ice Lance. But yeah. Alright. Here, I'm kind of hoping we have like a little bit of delay on the poll because my Icy Veins isn't up yet, right? We got like 10 seconds. Looks like we do. So should be able to do a lot of burst damage. I end up shifting powering just to guarantee it's up on poll, but and with Balefire you want to use it after your first Comet Storm in this combo. I don't think I'm especially playing well around all the shatter things in this key. Like I blizzarded after I freezed after Glacial Spike on that pack, and it really should have just been a flurry to guarantee the shatter. But normally speaking, you don't ray in AOE, but this is 3 targets, and I didn't I didn't have my orb out, so it's pretty good to use Ray Frost there. And that can sometimes happen in like larger AoE though. I wouldn't recommend like trying to force into your rotation that way. So here ideally I Glacial Spike and then I Shifting Power, but I got this thing on me, so you can see here, even though we're at 2 targets, I'm not going to Ray Frost because I'm in Frozen Orb at the moment. I'm holding my Balefire for this combo, I believe, or the boss. Looks like it's the boss. Nope, never mind. I just used it super late. You're totally fine to macro your Balefire to your kind of cold, by the way. So I probably should have done it already, except sometimes I like to hold it. So if you're wondering about my gear, I'm using Balefire and the Gnarled Root trinket from Dark Earth Thicket because I don't have Bellerillos yet at the time of this video. I'm probably like 482. One of the things I really like to do in M Plus is just try and lust off cooldown as soon as possible, especially if I'm playing with a less class. So here, since we have a Shaman and a, Evoker, I can just use that, even though that list icon being blue actually means it won't be back up in time for everyone else. Since I can't finish Frost after that GS because it's on the last second where shield, I opted to just use an Ice Barrier. And there I didn't flurry after that Frostbolt because it was natural flurry and I only had 1 icicle or 2 icicles. Yeah. This boss is kind of annoying just because the movement requirements can be a bit awkward on Frost, especially. It's a pretty good Ice Flips boss, actually. Because you really only need to make like small movements. I've kind of been liking doing the Ice Lance before the Comet Storm when I have Balefire up, just so the Balefire actually catches more of the Comet Storm when you use it for the Ray. But I haven't done too much around that optimization. I do think there's kind of no way it's not better though, because I don't know. Depends on if your Balefire is used before your Ice Lance hits the target or not, I guess. So, yeah. I believe this gets a little scuffed towards the end, maybe. I really, Time Spiral. I really hope they probably won't do this, but it would be really nice if they were to change the way that Cold Snap worked to be similar to Time Spiral, because right now, whenever you Cold Snap, you just completely overwrite the remaining CD on your defensive. So like if I was to Cold Snap, I'd just lose the 2.5 minutes or so I've spent waiting for my Ice Cold to come back off cooldown. Um, but if it gave a temporary extra charge of, Ice Barrier, Ice Cold, then I would not lose any of that natural CDR, which would feel great. Because honestly, I just, when I have like 10 seconds left on my Ice Cold, I just don't even want to press Cold Snap. I would rather die than press Cold Snap, really. But yeah, I can skip this. We don't need to be watching. Yeah, so the reason you want to use Balefire after your first kind of cold is because, or your first Comet Storm is because your Comet Storm actually lands like a second after you cast it, and all its damage is on hit. Essentially, all of Frost spells are actually on hit damage. So here again, I don't want Ray of Frost because I'm in Orb, but my Orb's about to end, so I cast it anyway. Yeah, do a double shatter here, so I flurried the other guy for 4 icicles and flurried, swap target and flurried after my GS on the next one. But yeah. Ray of Frost doing 2.4% of my damage there is actually insane, given that was a 2 dragon pull, right, with all those little mobs, and I only used Ray of Frost once right at the end, and it's still just slammed. But here I'm Glacial Spiking. This is already into Winter's Chill because of the kind of cold, so Cold Snap. So that was an AoE shattered Glacial Spike, which is why it did so much damage. One of the benefits. It would be nice if you actually got 2 stacks of Winter's Chill from your Coldest Snap. Technically you do, it's just bugged, but no one's talking about that. So, because when it first came out, it did give you 2 stacks of Winter's Chill, and then partway through when they changed it to only work in AoE, they also accidentally made it somehow so that I probably should be Ray of Frosting, by the way, because this guy's got half his health left, and I'll obviously get another Ray of Frost by the time I'm in Icy Veins. But anyway, after they changed Cone of Cold to only work in AoE, they accidentally made it so it actually consumes one of the Winter's Chill it puts on the target, on all the targets, which is kind of weird because it doesn't even benefit from the Winter's Chill to shatter itself, which would be nice, by the way. Like, one of the things Freezing Cold should do is make it so that kind of cold always shatters, but that also has downsides because then like you don't have to play around shattering kind of cold, which we don't right now. But if we had Snowstorm, we would, like we did in season 1 and a little bit of season 2. Of course, Snowstorm's just absolute garbage right now, but so it's a little unfortunate actually. I like it when kind of cold does large damage, though I hate the stack base thing. It was more of an issue with Rune of Power because you can never line it with Rune of Power, though even now I still dislike it. I think it's really fun in Classic. You just have like this massive AoE nuke in Cone of Cold that was always really cool. So, but then again, Cone of Cold's visual hasn't been changed since Classic, so yeah. And Nether has our Ice Barrier, by the way. I don't know if you guys remember the mobs from Ruby Life Pools, but they had a HD Ice Barrier that would be kind of nice. I was really hoping we'd just kind of get spell improvements in general at some point, but that's okay. Personally, I don't know. I always find it weird because there's generally not that much to commentate on in these rotations. Because I'm doing the rotation, right? It's nothing special that's happening here, really. Except, I am trying to shifting power when I will not overcap myself on French Frost. It's also really nice to do shifting power during your freezing winds because if you do it in the right way, you could both not overcap French Frost and kind of guarantee that your next like 3 globals are going to be Ice Lance. So that's kind of what I did there. Was I shifting power with 1 French Frost tick, and then that essentially guaranteed that I was going to have my next 3 globals be Ice Lance. So here I'm at tab target and do a second flurry and then do an Ice Lance Ray of Frost on that second target, which did disgusting damage. Yeah. This was a bit of a bad loss, right? Because you can see these mobs are almost dead, but wasn't me. I blame Kevin the Shaman. So, also, during that flurry combo, I could have swapped targets and double flurried actually if I'd done it earlier. Would have been very unintuitive because I Frostbolt flurried and I had 3 icicles and 2 Winter Chill on the main target. If I swap targets, flurried Ice Lance, then I could have GS'd and shattered on both targets. But I'm gonna be honest, don't think I've ever noticed that being a possibility before, so that's kind of wild. That's what you discover when you watch your own VODs, I guess. But yeah. These mobs are just so insanely deadly, and this is a tyrannical week too. I mean, also it's a 22, so I'm not gonna die if one of them teleports on me. But I didn't ever bloom this week, and it's bolstering. And Jesus, it's just game's not fun on a bolstering week. I don't know what to say. Also, raging was just very unfortunate since it's a DPS loss for Frost. Because look at all these juicy targets I can't shatter because of raging. Normally I don't really hold my glacial spikes for like the next pack, but I have been here. I don't want to kind of cold because my frozen orb is up so soon, so I'm just holding that until frozen orb happens. Then we do our combo. I am probably gonna flurry after this. Never mind, I shifting power. Yeah, I don't want to Ice Lance because the targets still have Winter's Chill from the kind of cold. Because if I Ice Lance after the GS, it'll consume it. So even though I overcapped a lot of Fierce Frost, that just kind of doesn't matter. Then here I'm also not Ray Frosting because I'm in Freezing Winds. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of sorry that there's no numbers. It's just I disabled them because of Tendril Prog, and I don't really want to re-enable them just to disable them again whenever I raid. But partially because I haven't been playing too much WoW outside of raid at the moment. I've been playing a lot of Season Discovery, I guess. Though I did start gearing a shaman recently because I have a friend that wants to do like a alt mythic raid thing, and he has gotten quite juiced in like a very short period of time. So I doubt you're ever gonna see anything from him on the YouTube channel because I had a Rep Paladin season 1 that you guys never saw. But I did stream it a few times, so maybe you'll see its vault. His transmog is popping off right now, I have to say. He has very good transmog. Using the like 2 flails, I feel like flail transmogs are very cool right now. But this boss is super annoying on Arcane. Okay, so this is pretty sick. So I want to like do it kind of cold, right? Get my reset. It's a little unfortunate. I probably, if I'd had time to shifting power first, I could have Comet Stormed and done a full AoE combo. However, these ads have 0 HP, so it was kind of a gamble just to get the Cone of Cold off, to be honest. But yeah, if you can definitely do the full AoE combo, they die. So if you G-Invis right before this goes off, it doesn't give you the dot. So that's what I was doing there. You'll notice I Balefired early right before my raid. And the reason I Balefired early was because if you do it when Glacial Spike's flying, it then benefits that Glacial Spike without any decay. So that's pretty strong. So I like to do that. That's the correct way to use Balefire if you don't have Ray Frost. But when you do have Ray Frost, it can get nice. You also see there, to go from Icicle 4 to 5, even though I had Flurry, I also had Frozen Orb off cooldown, so I just Frozen Orbed so that my next global could guaranteed be Fingers Frost, since Frozen Orb gives a guaranteed Fingers Frost if I hate a mob, so I wouldn't have to waste the Flurry. I could Glacial Spike into Flurry. And here I'm holding Shifting Power, because my Comp Storm is so close to coming off cooldown. I probably won't be able to get my Cone of Cold, but you can see I'm actually like holding everything. I did get it, right? So there I did the actual full AoE combo with a Comet Storm into Cone of Cold. And again, I'm not going to be using Ray of Frost since I am in Orb. I mean, a shifting power here just because I won't get another Ray of Frost out. But normally you wouldn't do that if Ray of Frost is off CD. But in this case, I just wanted to guarantee a flurry for it since this guy's, about to die. Yeah, there you have it. Pretty decent run. But, Ogden PI means you can't really trust details. I think the Taldazar was equally as good as this run. It's really just Ogden PI. But it looks nice. And we can see the overall here, right? So you can see I'm running this Oakheart Gnarled Root thing. This is really bad compared to Bellerillos. And the dungeons I've done with Bellerillos so far, it's done like, I believe like 4% of my overall, and it has intellect, unlike this Oakheart's. So it's way, way stronger. It's insane. You can see my Ray Frost did 3.9% damage. That's about expected. I would say you want to aim for like 4 to 6%, depending on the dungeon. So that's pretty good. And if you're thinking about the value of other talent points, the one that most people run is Chain Reaction. Okay, Chain Reaction is 10% Ice Lance damage. Even if you had full uptime on Chain Reaction, even if it's just 10% Ice Lance damage all the time, which is not, because that's a ramp and it falls off, that's still less than half. It's a third of the damage that Ray Frost did here, right? Because 10% of this is just 4.6, and this did 15 million. So, yeah, you want to run Ray Frost. It does a lot of damage. Also ups your single target to insane levels. As for your Glacial Blast, this is pretty respectable Glacial Blast damage. I would say you also aim for honestly 3 to 7% of your overall is Glacial Blast. It really just depends on the key and the week. So this was Raging, and the fact that I still got 6.2% is more a testament of one, or holes, and then also how good of a dungeon fall is for AoE shattering your Glacial Spike. But yeah, hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, leave them down below. You can see my item level. I was only 481 here. Yeah, and I do actually want to make content more consistently. I've been slacking a little bit in the past few months, so I am also streaming on my raid prog on twitch.tv/Manather Mage, and that happens every Friday, Saturday from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. EST. We're probably going to kill Tendril this week or get very close to it, and then on to Farok. And I've actually been doing pretty well in raid. I just I don't like some of the kills I've been doing, so I didn't want to upload them. Like I have rank 1 Smolder on, or I did before this reset, on Arcane though, not Frost. But that was a horrible kill, so it's more RNG really than skill. Anyway, any questions down below? Have a good night.